Uh, well, uh, we lose 2-1. Uh, the first half, we created chances. It was just defensively, we really Boxall and Tapias just they kept targeting that in between the two center backs or not the two center backs, but in between the center back left and right side. They were kind of trying to hit with this long through ball to Yakubo, and eventually it hit, and we were it was threatening us all night. They kept trying it to Yakubo, Acosta, different forwards, and ended up getting their first goal from it. They were trying it the whole first half, but we desperately need to finish goals. We need to be more clinical in the final third. We created so many chances tonight, but we only scored from the penalty spot. It's really frustrating. Pereira was through on net. Unfortunately, didn't have the pace to get a break away from the defender. He had to take a shot there. There was no one else really to pass it to. It was just a poor shot. Unfortunately, we really created a lot against a really good team in the East in FC Cincinnati. We played really, really well. I'm extremely happy with the performance. It's just we need the points, and we're walking away with 0 points again, and it's just unfortunate. I see a lot of positive things from the new players. Yaboa is great forward. Him and Tani up top in the second half the second half we played unreal. To not get a goal in that last 30 minutes was just really disheartening. We created the chances. Their goalie just stood on his head again, but I mean, how many times have we said that? The goalies are going to make saves. We just need to be more clinical. The Pookie post shot, the Pookie save shot at the end. It was just really, really, really frustrating. I don't think Robin had his best game tonight. Franco looked really lively off the bench. Dotson was outstanding in the midfield. I thought he was running all over the place. He's had a really great second half of the season. The one other thing is Drew Fisher is completely incompetent, an absolute piss poor referee, and literally should be out of a job. He's absolutely incompetent clown. There's not a single worse referee in this league. The dude simply does not understand the rules, nor can control or ref a game. He's absolutely incompetent. And the fact that he gets invited to referee Olympic matches like he did this summer is absolute joke. He is a absolute bottom tier referee in the MLS, and he simply got all these fucking calls wrong, left, right, center, both sides. There were just so many clueless calls, bringing the ball, calling it back calling back the fouls when there was a clear advantage to the play. There was just many times where this absolute clown of a referee does not understand the simple rules of the game. He does not. I don't know where the hell he got his badges, but I think pro referee is just handing them out at any point. Tori Pinso, the fourth official, literally should have got warmed up in the first 20 minutes to go to the center circle, because it was clear as day Drew Fisher does not understand how to referee a game. Like, it is just mind-boggling he's even allowed to ref our games anymore, because the bias is clear as day, let alone any game. I'm sure refs all the same, as equally shit as they all are, because he's consistent in that. He's consistently bad every time he steps on the field to ref a game, and he should never be allowed to ref another game as a center circle official again. That's just point blank dead. It just everything. It's just frustrating to even see him on the team sheet as the referee, and there is going to be countless calls missed. The game will get out of control in points of the game because he simply does not get the calls right to control the game. He does not do anything, like he's just so piss poor. And we have to mention that the VAR decision to give us a penalty. Why is that not a red card? A clear boot to the face is clear and obvious, clear and obviously a red card offense, let alone a foul in the box. It is obvious to use the VAR to see is it in the box or not, and it clearly was. It was on the line. But the fact that it is not a penalty and a red card is absolutely asinine. Drew Fisher and the VAR officials got that completely wrong. We should be getting the penalty and the red card, because if it is a penalty in the box, then the kick to the face is a clear and obvious red card, a violent offense. So there, point blank and simple, the kick to the face should be a red card, a high boot. It should have been a red card. And then they're playing 10 men down. And at that point, we would have easily scored a goal. We were the only team in the second half who looked like they wanted to score. I mean, Luke Costa got shot from outside the box a couple times, who really did not do much all night, in my opinion. Actually, not in my opinion, it was facts. Lucho Costa did not do much all night. It was Yakubo that was really controlling the game in the final third. Acosta, in my opinion, was pretty quiet. Yeah, he was passing the ball around, hit a couple of switches, but really not anything dangerous. But yeah, it was just simply a piss poor ref game from a shit referee who shouldn't be allowed to ref the games. We don't get that red card offense, and so yeah, it's kind of bullshit. And then you go on top of it. You get to the end of the game, you're hurling balls in. Credit to FC Cincinnati, they're making save after save after block, great blocks, and we just can't simply score. I mentioned the Pookie shots, box hole, heel click to Diaz missing a header over the net. There's countless opportunities to score, and we just simply could not do it. And then we get to the end, and we're hurling balls in, and there's a clear and obvious handball offense that gets checked for maybe half a second, clear as day a handball, and we should be taking a penalty from the spot, and Yeboah does not miss from those, and it should literally have been 2-2. But the fact that Drew Fisher just incompetency, as well as the VAR officials, is a clear as day handball. Handballs it in the box to control it. Don't know what else you could say, because he's controlling the ball with his arm to gain an advantage, to be able to clear the ball off a kick with, it's just clear advantage, and it's in the box. It should be a clear penalty. Don't make up the rules. But Drew Fisher is, I can't emphasize this enough, the worst referee in the game, and it is point blank. Like, he literally should just like fire the fucking dude. He's clueless. Excuse me for my French, but I can't anymore with this fucking clown. I really can't. He should not be allowed to ref any games in the MLS, period. Point blank, period. I wouldn't let him ref Sunday League kids on a Saturday afternoon. Some fifth graders. Like, it's ridiculous how poor he is. But the one thing I'm happy with the performances. We looked good. There was a lot of positives. The only negative is, I will mention that it is worrying that Clement can't get into the team sheet after buying a right back. But I don't want to jump to conclusions, so we'll just leave it at that. He played a little bit for the twos. Hopefully he's just getting up to fitness, but we'll see. All right. St. Clair. I'm going to add some huge saves in the first half. Huge saves. I'm going to give him a 8 out of 10. I thought St. Clair was great. I mean, both those goals were literally tough saves, so it's not Dane to blame by any means. The defense breaking down was by far the reason we got scored on twice. Jefferson Diaz, I thought he's growing into the role a bit. I'm going to give him a 7. Boxall and Tapias, the center back pairing of them is just really not working out at all this year, really. I'm going to give them both 5s. Rosales, I'm going to give a 7. I thought Rosales was good today. We needed him. Actually, I'm going to give him 8. He was putting in some really, really good balls in on corners and stuff, so I'm just going to bump that up to an 8. I thought he was, yeah, I'll just leave it at that 8 for him. Dotson, an 8. I thought he played extremely well today, and he's been playing really good in the second half of the season after the horrible start he had in the beginning of the year. I'm going to give him, an 8. Harvey, a 7. Bongi, a 6. Robin Lod, a 5. I thought Robin really just did not have one of his best games. I thought he just fade. I want to see. We have a standard for our players. Obviously, we know, like, we hold Robin to a higher standard than we hold other players, and vice versa. And so I just think Robin really did not perform up to his standard today, and he got a 5. So Perea made his home debut. I'm going to give him he played well, picked up a yellow card. There's a lot of positives from him. It was just that one-on-one chance is really unfortunate not to make. He's got to bury those. I'm going to give him a 6. Yaboa, I'm really excited to keep seeing more from this guy. He's outstanding so far. Another penalty. When we get a penalty, he will not miss them, it looks like. He's cool, calm, collective, excellent in the box for those, obviously. I think he's making each goalie go the wrong way and then sliding it in. It's just, you really feel safe when he's taking the penalty, so it's exciting. Seen a lot of good stuff from open play as well. I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10. He's going to be my man of the match. Obviously because of the goal for the man of the match, but he maybe didn't have his best game out of his debuts, but he was lively, got the goal. I really like watching him and Tanny up top together. I think they not necessarily link up together a whole lot, but just playing off each other, heading the ball down. I think they really play well off each other than having, Robin or Franco or a more creative player in right behind them where they're getting a little bit more service. And then we made 4 subs at halftime, which I thought was necessarily. We switched. I really am interested in seeing how Ramsey lines up each game. He seems to be tinkering a lot with the formation, the players, what he wants to do against different teams, even mid-game switching the formation completely, making 3 subs, stuff like that. It's really interesting. I like it a lot more than waiting exclusively until the 70th minute like Adrian Heath did to make substitutions. So Will Trapp came on for Carlos Harvey. Sam Bing came on for Bongi, and Tani came on for Perea. And I thought those 3 subs really changed the game extremely well. We were attacking a lot better in the second half. We were outstanding in the second half, I thought. And then Franco coming on in the 81st minute for Robin. I honestly wish we would have made that sub a little bit sooner because Franco came on and was extremely lively, linking up the front to the back extremely well, in my opinion. So I really wish that sub would have maybe came 5 to 10 minutes sooner. Just 5 to 10 minutes more of, I think, putting pressure on with what we did at the end. Countless barrages of crosses, corners, attacking chances. And then Pookie coming on right shortly after in the 86th for Tapias. Honestly, this one even could have been a couple more minutes sooner. I understand 10 minutes might have been a little early, but I mean, we needed to go for it and get the goal. It probably would have been early. I think it probably was the right time to make the sub in the 85th, but maybe a little sooner would have been nice because Pookie came on and he was creating chances as well as other players. It was just we were creating chance after chance after chance, and the ball seemingly kept popping up to Pookie, and he hit the post. And yeah, it's just very frustrating that maybe a couple of those subs weren't a little bit sooner, but extremely well the second half we played. The subs changed the game completely. I think we really have a lot more depth compared to we used to, 6 months ago. if we can make a playoff push, like I think we've kind of molded into a better team than what our record says a bit. Just for this short sample period, I don't want to get too carried away, but we were playing extremely well, and if we can start linking some of these final pieces together, it would be great. So, Franco, we'll get into the player ratings for these subs. Will Trap, I'm gonna give a 7. Sangbin, excuse me, an 8. Tani, a 7 or an 8. I'm gonna give him an 8. I'm gonna go with Will Trap an 8 as well. 8s for all 3, and then Franco an 8, and Timo Pukki an 8 as well. I thought all the subs deserve an 8, and they were really good. Really impacted the game when they came on, and yeah, it's just really unfortunate not to walk away with a point even after the performance against an extremely good Cincinnati team who's second in the East. But we got to hope some of the results go our way and we stay in that 9th place spot. Last couple games, less home stretch via this next month and a half before the playoffs. So we got to either keep getting points and bump into the real playoffs, or we'll be playing that playing game to get into the playoffs. So as always, come on, you loons, and thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you next time.